What's up, planner peeps? Welcome back to another planner journal video. My name is Chris, aka Trouble Hime, and today I'm going to do a flip through of the 5 planners that I've been using in December of 2024. If you're new here and you haven't seen any of my previous videos, I moved into my 2025 system in December, and this was my first month using ring planners in addition to bound books for functional planning and memory keeping. Here I have an A6 Moterm ring planner, which is my sort of everyday functional planner. And then I have my Moterm, I think this is a mini. It's a pocket or a mini. I use this as a wallet and my planner for leaving the house. I have a Midori A5 notebook that I use as a common planner. I have a 5-year A6 Hobonichi Techo that I use as a health and fitness journal. And then I have this Hobonichi Weeks that I use as a cat planner and journal, or a pet planner and journal. So I think I will start out with like most used, and then we'll probably go down from there. So like I said, this is a Moterm True A6 ring cover that I'm using as my monthly, daily, weekly functional planner. I also do a tiny bit of journaling in here. So in the yearly section, I haven't really started using much, but in the month of December, I did make this makeup tracker. I sort of like redid it and listed out all of the makeup products that I want to keep track of the expiration date on. It's mostly like cream and liquid products because the powder products I can sanitize. But I haven't really opened any of these things yet, except for some of the stuff I bought in Japan last year, which it's a little difficult to tell when the expiration date is on those, but I plan to get rid of them at the end of 2025 if I haven't already. I also have a makeup tasks, I would say. So I do plan on washing my makeup brushes every month as long as I have used them, but I also want to track like if I wore makeup that week, if I sanitized my makeup, if I cleaned my brushes, or if I decluttered anything. So I just have listed out all 52 weeks, and I'll just like circle or draw a little circle in there if one of these things occurred. In my wish list for 2024, the only thing I added was maybe getting a better printer. I've been printing more photos and stuff for my planners and journals, so I might consider investing in a new printer because the quality from the one that I'm using now is honestly pretty bad. It's an older printer that I inherited from my parents, so I'm not expecting the best, but if printing photos and stickers for my journals and stuff is something that I plan to do in the long run, it might be a worthwhile investment. But other than that, I didn't purchase any of these things off of my wish list. I did add some extra things to my 25 and 2025, although I am still kind of populating this list. I have a large collection of lingerie, and I really need to organize and declutter it. I also want to have a monthly like savings of about $4,000, and by the end of the year, I should have about $50,000 more in savings. That'd be really awesome. And then I'm also doing a clothing low buy and a makeup skincare low buy. So I want to only purchase products that are replacing something that I used up, or in the case of clothing, if I buy something, I want to declutter an equal amount of items. So I kind of wrote that down here, is that I want to do that low buy on clothing and makeup items. I also made a 28-day cleaning checklist that I would like to stick with, and I'll show that a little bit later. And then I want to leave the house more and get monetized on YouTube. Those are like kind of some basic goals I have for 2025. Someday maybe I didn't really add anything. This is about the same. In my 2026 to-do list, I wrote down that I want to take my body measurements at the beginning of the year. And I don't want to forget that. And I'll talk a little bit more about that when I get to my fitness and health planner. So, into the monthly section. This was my cover page for December. It's kind of like a dark blue vibe. And then this is what the monthly looks like all filled out. In terms of my mood, there was some not great days, but for the most part, my mood was pretty steady, which is good. And you can see down here, this green dot is where I'm marking if I tracked my food intake, and I was kind of pretty decent about that in December. I'm trying to like get back into the habit because I plan on doing a fat loss phase in January. And then I also got back into working out. You can see for the beginning and middle of December, I wasn't really working out. It's the pink circle here. But I did start getting back into it right at the end of December because, like I said, I plan to go into that fat loss phase. Here on the side, you can see my YouTube watch hours have steadily increased a bit. So thank you for that if you've been watching my videos. It really helps a lot. And I'm still in a maintenance phase for my fitness. And then in terms of my calorie intake, the overall amount of calories per day has decreased a little bit, and that's probably because I've had a few days where I've eaten quite a lot of calories, and that's kind of affected my overall body mass, and also a little less activity because I wasn't really working out too much in December. So that makes sense. It's not really a big deal. But this week I was at about 1900. I also want to say, disclaimer, I talk a lot about very specific to me calories, macros, body measurements, body weight, and I just want to say that if that's something triggering for you or something that doesn't make you feel good, I would definitely encourage you to like click off of the video because, like I said, that's something that I talk about quite often because fitness is a really big part of my life. And I also just want to say that like comparison is the thief of joy. Something that I'm doing for my fitness is something that might not work for you. I might be eating more calories than you. I might weigh more than you. Might weigh less than you. It's all relative. All of this stuff is specific to me, and you might find some information that you can apply to your own life, but I don't think there's anybody else in the world that would have exactly the same body composition and metabolism, like all that stuff. It's all relative and it's all very specific per person. So anyways, I hope that made sense. I'm just trying not to like make anyone feel some type of way. But I mean, if you continue to watch the video and you feel some type of way, that's on you. So watched a lot of movies and shows in December because I wasn't playing too much Minecraft. I kind of needed a mental break from it, but I think I'm getting back into it again. But we watched basically all of American Horror Story, which was fine. It was okay. I think maybe I thought it would be better than it was because of the amount of hype around it. We also watched season 1, 3, and 4 of True Detective. We skipped season 2. I also went on like a little bit of a side quest to watch the old Hobbit and Lord of the Rings movies, like the cartoon versions. I need to go back and watch The Last Unicorn and Flight of Dragons. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you have seen and liked those kind of movies, because yeah, it's just like, that's my childhood. I think it was probably before my time, but I've watched those a lot when I was a kid. Highlights for December: Minecraft update, plant watering schedule. I did a lot of laundry and I decluttered a lot of clothing in December. I got some new makeup brushes and I decluttered a lot of my old ones. And then I made a cleaning schedule, a 28-day cleaning schedule. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Christmas dinner at my house was a decent success, I would say. And I bought some cat stationery this month. Normally, I don't buy too much stationery, but I really wanted some like cat themed stuff for my cat journal. I also went shopping at a mall, like in person. I rarely do that. Trackers I kept up with really well. I know this looks blank, and that's just because I wasn't working out and I didn't plan to work out really. So I have my work hours here, a lot of days off because of the holidays. I wrote down my steps for no particular reason. I don't necessarily need that information. It's also on my phone, but it's kind of cool to see. Yesterday, I got barely any steps because I did a leg workout 2 days ago, and I'm so sore after not working out for like a few weeks and coming back. I'm just like, my legs are demolished. So I barely walked at all yesterday. I was pretty good about taking my pills and supplements, pretty good about tracking my calories. I don't necessarily have to do that every single day. It's for me, help me get back into the habit of it because it's something that's important to me. And then you can see down here, I did a few workouts. And then I did end up writing the specific workout on this side. So on the days that I took off with intention, I wrote off. But then I also, on the days that I worked out, I wrote like shoulders and arms, upper, lower, upper, stuff like that. So I think this is going to continue just like this in January. And then on my task list for the month, I got most of the stuff that like absolutely needed to get done. And some of the stuff like booked our Japan trip for 2025, that's mostly on my husband's end. He books the flights and I book the hotel. And if he didn't book the flight yet, I can't book the hotel. I had some thoughts about videos that I wanted to film in December, but some of those got pushed back, or I'm doing it now, I would say. Yeah, I guess I am doing that now. And then my work tasks have the triangle, and I got most of those done. I should just cross this out because I didn't need to do that at all. So that was December in the monthly. Moving on to the daily. Here I just have my key. So something new that I did in December, I kind of mentioned it, I think, in the 2025 planner and journal system video. I was like, oh, I made this 30-day plant watering schedule. Why don't I do that for cleaning? Like, keeping the house clean and doing chores has always been like a big struggle for me. A large portion of that is laziness, like straight up laziness, no excuses. But I think part of it is also like the daunting task of like, what do I have to do? How often should I do it? When's a good time to do it? So anyways, I sat down, I really thought about it, and I made a 28-day cleaning schedule. So it basically just goes by the day number, and that way I'm not too hung up on like the day of the week. It's literally just by the day number. And then I kind of like divided the tasks up. So basically once a week, I will vacuum every floor of the house. So it's like we have the basement, we have the first floor, we have the second floor. And then one day I just vacuum the stairs because for some reason the stairs just accumulate an intense amount of grime. So like first, second, third, fourth day of the 28 days, and then 8, 9, 10, 11, etc. is just all vacuuming, but it's only one floor a day. And then on the 5th day, I'm doing like washing and laundry. So we don't have a huge amount of laundry because it's just a 2-person household. So once a month, I'll wash all the towels, all the bath mats. Once a month, I'll wash all the linens. Once a month, I'll wash all of my clothes. My husband does his own clothes. And then I will clean one bathroom every week, but like one separate bathroom. So we have 4 bathrooms that are used, basically. There's 5 bathrooms, but one we don't use at all. So I'll clean one bathroom every week. So each bathroom gets cleaned once a month. And I honestly think that's enough. Obviously, if there's like a spill or some sort of situation, I'm going to try to take care of it at the time, but once a month for every bathroom should be enough, just because, like I said, it's a big house. It's only 2 people living here, so it's not like a ton of use. And then clean the kitchen once a week, but also clean other stuff. So it's like clean the whole kitchen, but also clean the fridge. Clean the whole kitchen, but also clean the hood filters. Clean the whole kitchen, but also wipe the inside of the microwave and the oven. So stuff like that. Yeah, that's basically it. And so since it's only 28 days and most months have more than 28 days, 29, 30, 31, those can either be just like days to rest, they can be days to catch up on tasks that maybe we missed for whatever reason, and or it could be something where we do like another sort of house chore that doesn't get done as often. Yeah, I can't even think of something off the top of my head, but I think so far I did it sort of at the end of December and it worked out pretty well. Once I get into the groove of it, I think I can get my daily chore done, me or my husband. It's not like person specific. I think once things are kind of under control, the daily chore should only take like 30 minutes, which is not that bad. Like 30 minutes once a day, every day for 28 days is like pretty minimal. And I think it's just having a nice clean-ish house is going to be really good for my mental health. So yeah, and then on the back of that page I just have a little bit of like notes about cleaning the bathroom, cleaning the kitchen, like all the specific stuff in there. The task list is basically the same, and then we get into the daily pages. So one thing I'm really liking about the Ring system is that it's easier for me to add ephemera in here. So I'm not really as worried about it chunking up so much that it's hard to write on because I can just take pages out. So I've been adding a lot more than usual. And right now I'm kind of doing like the side by side where I start writing my daily tasks over here, and then I do a little bit of like rapid logging and journaling on the right hand side. I also have my weather and then any full day events and appointments like go over here. So this was from some tea. It's like a little tab on the tea. Plant chores are in green. And I also started kind of like, if I get to the end of the task list and I didn't have that much, I'll just like journal all the way across. It's just kind of easier that way. Mostly using my fountain pens for journaling because I don't really care about keeping it consistent anymore. So that's what it's looking like so far. More tea. So if you buy Yogi tea, the tab on the tea bags usually have like some kind of quote. I like the flavors, but the quote is also fun. And if the quote speaks to me, I like to put it in my planner. So this one says, many paths lead to the same destination. It doesn't matter how you get there. And I agree with that. So this day I got some cat washi tape in. I had to order it from Amazon Japan. It's pretty expensive, but I think I'm happy with my purchase. This was a stamp. My husband plays Magic the Gathering and he orders a lot of individual cards. So he gets more mail than I do usually. And if he ever gets anything with like an interesting stamp, I cut the stamp off. This was from some noodles. I ordered Fly by Jing sauces to try out. So like chili crisp and other stuff. Basically Chinese sauces. And I wrote a little bit about how I liked it. To be honest, I don't think it's necessarily worth paying more to get the chili crisp, but they have a sauce called Chengdu Crunch that I really like. Everything else I could take it or leave it. The Chengdu Crunch I will definitely be ordering again. This was a tag on some cookies. This card came in a package from some jewelry that I was gifted. And you can read it if you want. This was a thank you card from our mail person. Joey got this in the mail and I put it, it's like an envelope. I thought I might put something in there, but I didn't. This is a sticker from the envelope that this card came in. It's been nice. Honestly, it's just been nice like finding random ephemera. I've been really into it. It's another sticker from something. I don't know. I put some washi tape down. My parents gifted me a Digi Osmo Pocket 3 for Christmas, and I plan to use that for hopefully more vlogging type content. But yeah, so it's a sticker from that. I tried to write neater over here. This was some wrapping paper that came on a gift from our neighbors, and I like packing taped it because it's glitter, and I don't really want glitter all over my planner. Also, I don't know if they want their name on the internet, so I just covered it. This was from Christmas. I didn't really have a lot to write about, so I just did some doodles in there. Oh, this is when I went out of the house shopping. I bought these 2 bracelets. I got some stationery, and I bought some Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pens. I bought them because I wanted, it's got the permanent ink, which I like. This is like not a daily page, it's a separate page that I put in here, which is also nice because I'm trying to focus this year, 2025, on my skincare routine. So I kind of like did a little journal about it, and then I wrote out my morning and night routines. And then these were some more stamps that Joey got in the mail. I got one of the Midori printable stamps at Barnes & Noble, and I just stamped all the different options in there. It was cat themed, obviously. More stamps from things that Joey got in the mail. And then this was a Christmas to-do list, and then I kind of like wrote down some notes about the things that I cooked for Christmas. So this was really helpful on Christmas Day. Like I said, we had Christmas at my house, so there was a lot of stuff to do. And yeah, just having this like separate to-do list was pretty helpful because some of this stuff, it didn't all necessarily have to be done on Christmas Day or even on Christmas Eve. So kind of like having this separate list that I could check off as I got the stuff done was really helpful. Yeah, and that's it for my December daily pages. Next in here is the plant section. I actually, if you saw the previous video that I mentioned, that is the 2025 planner lineup, I had kind of a calendar view of my December watering schedule, but I basically just rewrote it in this way so it took up less space. And then on the back of that page, I kind of wrote notes about the changes that I needed to make. And then I made a new watering schedule for January. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do this every month, which is not like that much work or anything. It's definitely better than just going around and seeing what needs to be watered. But I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do it every month because watering needs change depending on the weather. And specifically this room I'm in right now, where I have a decent amount of my plants, gets really, really hot in the summer, and typically stuff needs to be watered more often. So yeah, I'm keeping the old watering schedule just like for reference. You know, when I get back around to December in 2025, you know, maybe this will be more relevant. So January watering schedule, and I'll write notes on that at the end of the month. I didn't really have too many. Oh, I had to plant a propagation. When did I last? I got 2 plants in December that needed to be sprayed for pests. Planting highlights. I already talked about most of these, I think, in the flip through, but my Calathea Magic Star took a nosedive because I found pests on it. But it's not dead yet, but it's looking real rough. No plants in or out. Well, actually, Alocasia squid out. Chameleon ZZ out. Both of those just trashed or composted, I would say. Not having a good time, not worth the effort. And then in the notes section, I moved my YouTube notes to the front here because I was using them more often this month. So basically back here, I made a 2025 don't forget to film. It's not really like a filming schedule. It's like me planning out stuff that I might potentially want to do. And then I did that for the whole year. I have a small YouTube tracker that's just for like basically my watch hours, subscribers, and if I get monetized, how much I make. Also writing down what videos I posted. And then I think most of this other stuff you've already seen. This is notes on editing, video ideas specifically around Japan, some editing notes. This was some notes I was starting to take on the video series I'm planning to do January on, but I ended up just taking this to a Google Doc. And then this was something from earlier this month. I just wrote out an intro. This don't forget to film is just kind of like me thinking about when would be the best time to do certain videos. I want to do a houseplant tour in February because I did one last year in February, so I think it makes the most sense to do it 1 year later. Also, like stuff around Japan, things like that. I'm also wondering, so leave me a comment below how you feel about monthly flip throughs. Like if you enjoy this video and you want to see one every month, let me know because I can certainly do that. Otherwise, I was thinking maybe do like a quarterly review of my planners and journals. And then Minecraft notes. I didn't really have anything in here. I did a little bit of Minecraft in December, but not that much. And then in terms of like spicy content, the only thing I really did was a custom foot JOI video, but the customer basically gave me the entire script. I just wrote it in here so that I had something to reference when I was doing the custom video. And then I have an ongoing list of content ideas. And then the rest of this is basically just empty pages. I have one piece of like empty sticker paper, or like the back of sticker paper, in case there's something I want to stick on here. And then in here I have just some sticky notes. And that's it for my A6 daily planner. Next up, I'll talk about this. I think, like I said, I can't remember, pocket or mini ring planner that I use as my wallet and my everyday carry. Not a lot has changed in here, but I've added some fruit and vegetable stickers. Also added some, this was off of meat. This was off of a container. This was from noodles. This was tea. It says, be kind to others, but always be compassionate to yourself. That a lot of people need that reminder. In the calendars, I basically just put a sticker for all of 2024, and then I'll keep up with that for 2025. I don't necessarily need to reference this too much. This I'm planning to use for my days off of work, but obviously it's for 2025, so I wasn't really in there. Here's what December looked like. I went to the grocery store every Friday and then also one Sunday. The only thing I really put in here are like events and holidays that actually affect grocery shopping, which I mean, like Christmas, trying to go grocery shopping around Christmas is like the worst. If I can avoid it, I do. So I try to do all of my grocery shopping for Christmas the Friday before. But on this side, I wrote the places that I went shopping. In the weekly sections for December, I guess I don't really have anything here. So what I usually like to do is make a list of potential meals for this week. So I think about, what do I have in the fridge? What do I have in the freezer? What can I pick up at the grocery store? And I make a list and I'll pick meals from this list. And then grocery items and then stuff specifically at Costco. And then after we have had the meal, I write it up here at the top, just the dinner meal. It helps me like populate the next week of meals. And the star represents the days that I went to the grocery store. This bluish zig dot marker represents days that I worked. So December I didn't work a ton because of the holidays. So it's pretty much the same week over week. Since this was the week of Christmas, I didn't really have any meal plans. We just kind of ate a lot of leftovers, and then we also got some takeout. And then this is the current week, so I wrote my list of potential meals and based on this list, what I would need at the grocery store. And that's basically it for like the weeklies. In this list section, I have some stuff that I need to buy the next time I go to H Mart. I think that's the only change. I did go to Great Wall, which is a Chinese grocery store, and I got the thing on my list. Here in the recipes, I added a few recipes. I made some oyakodon, which is like Japanese chicken and egg over rice. I made that. It was really good, so I added it back here. Something I definitely plan on making again. This was a recipe that I used at Christmas for home-style tofu. And this is my vegetable lo mein recipe that I also used on Christmas. Turned out pretty well. It's just like a little hard to make a really large portion of this because I have to cook the noodles in batches. But yeah, that's basically the only changes here in my EDC carry. I'm really loving it. Oh, the only other thing is that I took out that flyleaf page because it was just taking up too much space. So without that in here, this is like slightly more compact and it fits in my fanny pack a little bit nicer. Next up, we can talk about my 5-year Hobonichi Techo. This is the A6 size also. This is my fitness and health planner, and there have been a lot of changes in here that I made in December. So first of all, I said I wasn't going to do it, but I basically backlogged all of 2024. So like a lot of the entries are very short because I populated them from the One Piece Hobonichi Han I used at the beginning of the year. But I went back and I wrote absolutely everything down. I went to the dailies, I used the fitness notes, I used my Google spreadsheets to write the workouts down, and it probably took me 8 consecutive hours. I didn't do it all at one time, but if it was all together, it probably would have been like 8 hours of me filling this in. So that's the biggest change in here. I looked in my Fitness Pal for any weigh-ins. I copied over the weather from old planners. It was so much. My hand hurt so bad. But yeah, I filled out everything from January through May. It was a lot. And then when I was on vacation in Japan, I kind of just wrote a little blurb about what I did while I was on vacation. And I did that in general for days that I didn't work out or days that I was traveling. I kind of like wrote a little blurb based on notes I had taken in previous planners. Other things that I did in here, I taped in a picture from 2024. This was taken like in January of 2024. You can see the printing quality of my printer is not great. On the yearly pages, what I've done is made it into a tracker. So I used a purple mild liner and I dotted every day that I worked out. And then on the left-hand side of the month, I used another mild liner and just made a little highlight. And then I'm using arrows to indicate a fat loss phase, a maintenance phase, or an improvement phase. So you can see like January, February, I was mostly in a fat loss phase, and then I kind of went into maintenance, and then I was like, at the time I said I was in maintenance, but I was really just kind of out of control. So I was being realistic with myself, and I said that was in an improvement phase. And then this red bracket represents when I was taking SARMs. So I'm not going to talk about it in depth. You can look it up if you want, but it's basically a performance enhancing thing. But yeah, I just wanted to make a note of when that was. And then this pink highlight, I just wrote like how many days out of the month I worked out. So 22 out of 31, 19 out of 29. December was obviously not a great month for working out, but that's okay. What is this? September, also not great. August, also not great. It's not been too great of a year for me and my fitness journey in 2024, but that's totally fine. It's so cliche, but it's a marathon. It's a marathon, not a sprint, so I'm not really worried about it. And I basically just went through 20, 25, 26, 27, and 8 and set it up all the same way. I think it's pretty safe to do that. I know myself, and sometimes I kind of change things around such that I set something up and it becomes obsolete, but I think it's okay for this one. And I'll just continue with the exact same thing. Most likely, I'll probably wait the entire month and go back and do the whole thing, because I am tracking most of this stuff in my daily planner as well, but I want to make sure I'm getting all the information in here, so it's kind of all in one place. Yeah, so that's what I changed up here in the front. And then in the back, you saw most of my daily pages already, so I won't really talk too much about that, but oh, that's November. Yeah, a couple days where I worked out. The only thing I really changed about this format is that I've started timing my workouts just to see how long they are. I'm not holding myself to a specific time, but I am trying to stop myself from taking too long of a rest period in between exercises. And in general, it would be nice if my workouts were less than an hour or around an hour. So I have been timing myself, so I have been adding that. I also, instead of writing out the word barbell, I'm using acronyms. Is that the right word? So BB stands for barbell, M stands for machine, BW stands for body weight, DB stands for dumbbell, CB stands for cable machine. And then if I superset something, I'm marking it with that little bracket. But yeah, not a lot going on in December because I didn't work out that much. But other things I did in the back here. So there is 1 page per year in the back of this planner journal. So what I did is I set up 2 trackers per year that encompasses the entire year. So for 2024, I went back and I marked all the days that I was tracking my macros. And then I also copied over my menstrual cycle information. But I will say a lot of the information is just not here because I wasn't focusing on it. And I'm going to do better about it in 2025. So I have a whole little key for menstrual cycle symptoms and stuff like that. But yeah, so this is my whole year of macro tracking. So anything that's purple is days that I was tracking my macros. And then, like I said, menstrual cycle. And then down here at the bottom, I wrote my maximum body weight the entire year that I recorded, and then the minimum body weight for the entire year that I recorded. It's like a 20-pound difference, which is not abnormal for me. Just interesting statistics and information on my part. I don't feel some type of way about it. So I basically just made these trackers for the rest of the time I'm in this journal, but I haven't necessarily decided that it's definitely going to be macro tracking and menstrual cycle tracking. So I set them up because I do want to use some sort of tracker, but I'm not sure if those will be year-over-year things that I'm keeping track of. In the Remember This page, I wrote down some workout reflection questions in case I'm stumped on what to write in here. So some questions for before the workout are: how am I feeling mentally and emotionally? How am I feeling about this workout? How am I feeling physically? Do I have any specific aches, pains, or soreness? What's my goal for this workout? And what do I need to work on since the last workout? And then after the workout reflection questions, did I accomplish my goal for this workout? Did my mental, emotional, or physical status affect my workout? Did I have any asymmetries, aches, pains, or unusual soreness during the workout? How was the intensity of the workout? How were my energy levels throughout the workout? What were the highlights and wins of the workout? and what do I need to work on in the next workout. So this is kind of an ongoing list. If I think of other stuff, I'll add them in, but I think this is a really good starting point for being a little bit more introspective about how I'm feeling. And then I didn't really write anything in here. Oh, in the lists page, so it has space for 8 separate lists of 10 items. So what I decided I'm going to do is write my measurements at the beginning of each year. So I had already done that from 2024 in a different book, and I just copied that over. I took my measurements for 2025. I filled in the things that I want to track for 26, 27, and 28. And then on the other 3 lists, I am going to write some max lifts, if that makes sense. So my best squats, my best bench press, and my best deadlift. So in 2024, my best squat set, I don't think I really did any maxes. So when I went through all of my workouts from the spreadsheet for 2024, my best squat was 225 pounds for 3 reps.
One yolk surrounded by so many whites. I've not seen this little diversity since the capital was formed. Like literally,
Don't touch neck into it. You gotta fight him.
Since I worked the road. But anyway, so bland. Where is the seasoning that you may ask? It would be found. Now I love what oatmeal does for me. It's very bland, but I always manage to find that taste. I know a lot of people will say that I'm old school because it's cow's milk. I can get it done around 8 hours.
And that's honestly, I mean, even when I was more focused on powerlifting, that's pretty good for me. Squats are just not a good time. I don't like squatting. Bench press, best bench set was 185 pounds for 3 reps. I've done better before, but considering I wasn't really focused on strength training this year, I'm pretty happy with that. And then for deadlifts, my best conventional deadlift set was 275 pounds for 3 reps.
About why he's taking something. Now, I've got friends of mine that'll turn around and they're massive and twice as strong as I am, and people go to them like, how'd you get that strong? And they're like, drugs. Yeah, and you're like sitting there like, thank you, finally, like, sure, fucking own it. Yeah. An interview, and he's like, I just trained so hard for the last 9 months that I just literally like drained myself of my testosterone.
And then my best sumo stance deadlift set was 305 pounds for 3 reps. So all of this is not the best I've ever done in my entire life, but considering I wasn't really focused on strength training this year, I'm pretty happy with that. So I also put back here a little post-it note so I can kind of like keep track of any really good lifts I did this year, so I don't have to go and look through a year's worth of workout spreadsheets. This I didn't fill out at all, and then contact information back here. So yeah, a lot of changes in this journal, but I am honestly so much more excited about it because it's like fully filled out and ready to go, and I'm really looking forward to like the year-over-year progress. You can see here that I write my entire workout down. If I get to the point where I can't fit my workouts in, so if it's like 3 years in and I can't fit all of my workouts, I think I'll just move on from this book. Like if I can get a solid 3 years of information in this journal, I'll be like really happy. And then next time I purchase like a 5-year planner, I'll probably go to a bigger size. So like get the A5 instead of the A6 because then I'll have more room to write. But yeah, that's something that I was thinking about the other day. And if I am not in this for the full 5 years, that's totally okay. If I get 3 years of use out of it, I will consider that a great success. Next up, we can talk about my Commonplace book. So basically, I moved all of my word of the day stuff over here. And then this is also basically anytime I do a random Google search. So my key right now is fitness and health, definitions, other / random, and plant things. But I have 2 more that I could potentially use. So this was all November. Where's December? Okay, here's where December starts. So the way I have it set up is, this is, by the way, this is a Midori A5 grid notebook. It's not very big, and I kind of like that. Like it doesn't have very many pages, and I kind of like that. Basically, after 3 grid spacing, I put a line, I add my symbol, and then I write the topic on the side, and then I do all my note taking, and then I divide it when I'm done. So starting in December, it's mostly word of the day because I just didn't have a lot of time to like do any other research. But yeah, if you want to take the time to like read all of this, feel free. Like any of my journals and planners, if you want to pause the video and like read what I've actually written, please feel free to do that. Otherwise I wouldn't post it. But yeah, mostly definitions. I get the word of the day from Merriam-Webster's website. Sometimes I'll simply write the prompt and then the definition. Sometimes I'll write a little bit more. They have a section for like, did you know? And if it's interesting, I might copy that as well. So like this complacent or complacent, like the difference between the 2 spellings. And I can't remember off the top of the head what that says. Oh, hoity-toity was a word. That's pretty funny. Misbegotten. I did some research on ashwagandha, which is one of the supplements I take. I get most of my supplement information from examine.com. More definitions. I think that was mostly it. I actually, one thing I did do, when it gives you the word of the day, it will, for verbs, if it's a transitive or intransitive verb, and I didn't know what that means, so I wrote a little bit about that. So basically, a transitive verb requires a direct object, and an intransitive verb is not used directly with an object. I hope I explained that right. Menorah was for right around the 25th, and I drew a picture of a menorah. Menorah. It's not M-I, it's M-E. I always spell that wrong too. Menorah. Yeah, and that's basically it. So for Zeitgeist, I've never heard of that word before. I will say, like, for the most part, I used to do a lot of reading, like, when I was younger, so a lot of these words are not unknown to me, even though I might not be able to verbalize the specific definition. Like, I can understand what it means, like, in a sentence, but Zeitgeist I had never heard of before, so that's why I took the time to write a little bit more about it. Zeitgeist refers to the general beliefs, ideas, and spirit of a time and place. I've literally never heard that word in a sentence. But yeah, that was all of December in my common planner, which was not as much as I usually write in here, and that's totally okay. I don't feel some type of way about it. And then I decided that just to keep track, when the new month turns over, I'll just put an indicator here on the side. I'm actually really enjoying this. Having this as a separate journal is nice because it takes up less space in my daily. And then last but not least, I have my Hobonichi Weeks cat planner journal, and this has been a joy. It's been, my favorite thing about my new system is this Hobonichi Weeks. It's been so fun. So I got the sushi cover of the Hobonichi Weeks, but then I also put these little cat stickers on too, and I have the clear cover on it so that they don't fall off. But I think the little cat stickers like really kind of go well with the sushi. It's like very cute and colorful. And I was a little concerned when I bought this. I don't really like the color yellow that much, but I'm really happy that I went with this color cover because it's like really cheerful. It's really bright. It just really does bring me a lot of joy. I had a slight bit of regret that I didn't get like that purple cover, but I think this was the right choice. I didn't put any stickers on the back, but I moved this cat Magic the Gathering card to the back side of the cover. So I have these stickers that I got from Joann's, and then these are some pictures of Mafik that I printed out and cut out that I'll use on the weekly pages. And then I had extra space, so I on that piece of paper because I use an A4 size Tomo River paper. So I just stuck in these other cat doodles from Canva. But I'm keeping these in the front so that I can use those week to week. I did not remove the bookmarks from this. I'm not sure why. So this was also from Canva. I just printed it out and wrote 2025 cat journal, and I glued it on top of, I used like a tape runner. I taped it on top of the area that says Hobonichi Techo. I'm not really sure what to do with this. For the important dates, it's basically if a vet appointment comes up, put some photos in here, and then I still honestly don't know what to do with this tracker. I'll figure it out, I guess. We're in January. Maybe I'll just mark off the days that I'm changing the litter. It's not really like that important. This is how the December monthly turned out, and I really like the way I used it. Basically, if like something really noteworthy occurred, I will write it out in the space. So like vet appointment, or I mostly try to keep this like light and happy. So like anytime something like really fun happens, like there was on the 28th, I was folding laundry on the bed and Mafik was under the covers and I didn't notice him in there, and he jumped out at me and he scared me like so bad. It was actually very funny because I literally had no idea that he was under there, and I don't think he was hurt or anything because I was just folding like towels on top of him, but he like jumped out and scared me so bad. But yeah, so mostly I just try to keep this like light and fun, but you know, if like something does come up that's like really important to know, I will write it down. So this is when I got the new washi tape. I put some stickers in here. Yeah, and then on days that I don't really have anything super noteworthy to write down, I'll just like do a little cat drawing, and then here at the bottom were like highlights from the month of December. And I'm gonna keep up with that. I think this was like, I really like how this turned out. I think it looks really cute, and it's, you know, easy to go back and see what happened on those days. So I am getting a little bit of bleed through with the fountain pens that I'm using. It's the worst with the red ink and the purple ink. You can kind of see the purple on this side, but I am also like coloring with it, so it's kind of my own fault. But yeah, it's not like a deal breaker or anything, so haven't started on January yet. And then when we get into the weekly pages, also I will say, I think this was, I've always wanted to use a Hobonichi Weeks, and this is my first time trying one out, and I think this was the perfect thing to use it for me. It's very specific, and it's kind of like the right amount of space as well. So it's not too much space that I feel overwhelmed, but there's enough space that I have room to get down what I want. So basically throughout the week, I will keep a sticky note of like things that happen, because I will only kind of write on this side once a week. But basically on the left hand side, this is all like functional, like keeping track, like, I don't know, like if he throws up, I'll write it over here. If there's something weird going on in the litter box, I'll write it over here. If he got snacks, I'll write it here. If I trimmed his nails, like I keep kind of like the functional stuff on this like kind of daily page. And then on this other side is where I'll put a picture in, I'll add stickers or drawings, and then I'll kind of like journal about the high points of the week. So on this week, that was the last week in November, I did a little mini tracker up here, and I kind of did that on this side as well. But after that, I decided to kind of just make a section here on the left to use as a tracker instead of taking up space in my journaling area. So, well, yeah, so this was how this week turned out. I used a fountain pen, no big deal. This picture was like too big. So after that, I tried to use smaller pictures. I didn't have enough space to like journal as much as I wanted. And right now I'm keeping my post-it notes in here, but if it gets like too chunky, I'll probably remove them. This was the next week. We got a card from the vet, so I cut the stamp off of it. So here's a smaller picture. Yeah, and if there's anything like really important that I want to make sure that I remember, I'll write it up at the top. So like I replaced the cat litter this week. Liffy had a vet appointment this week. It's back. I think I got this post-it note from Muji, which is kind of like a weekly view. This week, we tried to give him a can of like chicken, you know, like how tuna comes in a can. We thought he might like the chicken, but he literally didn't eat any of it, so that was a no-go. Use it for chicken salad. This is when the washi tape came in. Picture of him in the gym hanging out while we were working out. So on this side, I have like 5 potentially daily things that could happen. And so it's this water droplet is for changing his water. The poop emoji is for cleaning the litter. The knife or the fork and spoon is for feeding him. And then this, like, it looks like a ruler, but it's like one of those like cat go-gurts, is for if he gets one of those. And then a chicken or a fish symbol would be getting like human food, depending on what it is. I will say, if you don't see, like, for the first 3, like the water, the litter, the food, those are non-negotiable things that have to happen every day, but I don't necessarily have to do them every day. So this is me tracking if I did those things that day. So you can be assured that they got done. They just might not have gotten done by me. This was second to last week, November. I used a gel pen over here and I kind of regret it because you can see it's like transferring and I really don't want that actually. It's another picture with some washi tape. I put a sticker down here. I'm guessing nothing super important happened because I didn't write anything up here at the top. This week he got a can of tuna. Yeah, and just like I said, I keep this kind of like running list of things that happen throughout the week, and then I will journal kind of like the best of the best over here on Mondays. So this is a Monday through Sunday planner, and on the next Monday is when I'll just kind of like fill in this journaling space. This was the week of Christmas. Basically, I think I mostly wrote just about Christmas. I was really expecting him not to be around when there were people in the house. He tends to be on the more scared side, but he basically hung out the entire time. He let people pet him. He actually sat in like a chair at the dinner table while we were eating, but then he got kicked out because I only had just enough chairs. So yeah, I've been kind of like marking the spacing with a zig dot marker, which also kind of bleeds through, and I'm just like not thinking too hard about it. This is also the week that I went to the mall and like bought stationery. So this is from that cat stamp. I will say that the pictures that I'm putting in the weekly section are typically from the month before. So I'll go in Canva and like add a bunch of pictures that I took from the previous month to one page and print it out and cut them out and put them throughout the next month, rather than trying to print like one picture per week from the week that just happened. That's just not really realistic if I'm trying to save on paper. And then yeah, the 30th and the 31st from December, another picture. I ordered some stickers off of Amazon, and then this is me adding stuff to the weekly post-it note. Like I said, I think I got this post-it note from Muji, and I'm worried that I'm going to run out. But yeah, I did end up setting up all the tracking stuff for January. And then in the notes pages, I'll probably end up just like putting photos or something in here, but these were notes from the vet appointment we had on the 4th. And then this was a tracker for the medication. And then after he was done with the medication, I kind of like wrote about it. I saw some cat tongue facts on Instagram, and I basically just copied all of those facts over into the notes section back here. So like I'm kind of using this for specific notes about my pet, and then just other stuff about cats, and then also doing a monthly like collage. So originally I thought I would just like kind of journal about stuff, but I printed out all these like pictures from the month of December, and I was like, I should just do like a photo collage. So I actually really love how this came out, and I think I definitely want to do this for every month. Yeah, it's just like some pictures from throughout the month. Like this was on Christmas when he was sitting in the chair like a human. He really likes to get under the covers in the winter. Like he burrows under the covers, and it's so cute. These are all pictures from him in my office hanging out. And then these are pictures from in the evening when we're hanging out, like watching TV and stuff. So I just like wrote a couple little captions, put some stickers and things like that. And yeah, I really, really like how this turned out. So I think that's basically everything that's in here. Yep. So yeah, I'm really, really enjoying this Hobonichi weeks as my cat and pet planner. I think this was like a really, really, really good choice. It's really bringing me a lot of joy. I'm not having any trouble keeping up with it because I'm liking it so much. I mean, basically, I'm not really having issues keeping up with any of these planners and journals so far. I'm pretty much in them every single day. So like I come in here just like 2 or 3 minutes, write my word of the day, and then maybe like on the weekends or on my days off, I'll write other stuff if I have time. I'm basically in this every day doing like my trackers, my monthly thing. I mean, yeah, the daily thing on the month, which is just like really quick, and then also like these dailies are also super quick, so no trouble with that. This one, I could be in this every day, but usually I kind of go and fill stuff in every like 2 or 3 days. So since I keep a lot of that information in my daily planner, I don't necessarily have to like get in this every single day because I'm worried about forgetting stuff. So this has not been an issue. And, you know, if I hadn't back planned for like 8 consecutive hours trying to get this up to date for the entire year, I also would have just been totally fine doing it day by day. But yeah, this hasn't been an issue at all either. Like I said, every couple days I'm in here. This I'm not necessarily in every single day. I definitely am in it the day before I go grocery shopping so that I can make my grocery list And I might back plan the meals we had for dinner every couple days, but this one is not a necessity. So if I'm not in this every single day, I don't really feel some type of way. But this has been super functional. Honestly, taking all the pages out of that little Nolte notebook and putting it in a ring planner that also doubles as my wallet has been really, really nice. It's easier to keep track of. It's all in one. I really, really like this as an everyday carry. I do want to do kind of a what's in my bag again soon, but I don't think I'll get to it for a bit. And then I don't know what to say about this. It's been really functional. Like really, really functional. I can't say that I love actually writing in here, especially trying to write on the side with less paper, specifically like as a right-handed person writing on the left-hand side, but I think I can live with it. I really like being able to add and take away pages as needed, and it's been nice having the space just to add other random things in here. It makes it more fun to flip through when it's not just like pages and pages of text. And I think a lot of this stuff is things that I can reference again, like a page like this that has my routines in it, or like the plant watering schedule, stuff like that. It's been good. The ring planner has been really good for me, I think. So we'll see how it evolves throughout the year, but so far so good. So far so good in my entire system. So it's been nice. December in my planners and journals has been nice. Other stuff in my life, not always so nice, but at least I'm staying organized. How about that? So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something to take away, whether it was just like for funsies or something to watch in the background. If you would like to see more monthly flip throughs, please let me know. I didn't always do them in the past because I didn't think it was that interesting, straight up. Just like all my functional pages and just pages of text, I just didn't think it was that interesting. But now that I have like more ephemera in my book, now that I'm doing more memory keeping, maybe it's more interesting. Maybe you do want to see a monthly flip through. So please let me know in the comments, and any other comments, questions, or concerns, leave them down there and I'll do my best to get back to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.